I am going to show you how to do, I don't know why that popped up. I'm going to show you how to do, this is sheets number 8, and this is I'm going to use first hour to demonstrate this, but it's the same for first and fourth and seventh. So I'll just go to first hour. I'm going to go to classwork, and this is the Friday assignment right here. So I'll go to sheets number 8. We have two things that are posted here. One is a help page, and I'm going to show you a little bit on that. On the project page or the help page, whatever you would like to call it, you'll just open up the sheet that I provided for you for today, and Google Classroom will make a copy for you. You will have to format the data a little bit on the sheet. As always, I'm not really going to be picky about how you do that. Change the font, add some color, align some things, do whatever you wish there. I'm going to show you how to build the bar or column chart, but the thing I really wanted to show you on the handout is what's required today on the customizations. And here they are. Required number 6, change the chart title. This you'll see in a minute that this Google Sheet that I have for you today has to do with birthdays, when everybody's birthday is. And so the title is going to have something to do with birthdays. All right, don't give it just a random title that doesn't make sense. Make it a title that fits the chart. And also required, you'll see that this chart is either going to have bars or columns, and they're very similar, but I'll show you the difference in a moment. And you're going to have to change the color of those bars and columns. And it's not because I don't like the colors that Google Sheets uses. It's because I want you to know how to do it, and I want you to prove to me that you can do it. So that's why we're doing that. So only 2 required customizations. You have to change the title, and you're going to have to change the color of the bars or the columns. So let's get back over here to Google Classroom and take a look. Here is the Google Sheet. And before I get too far along on this, I'm just going to go ahead and make my copy, which I always have to do. You will not have to do that, but I do. And I'm going to zoom this up some, see if we can just make that bigger, make it a little bit more visible for you. Okay, so here's what this has. I have business IT classes period 1, period 4, and period 7. And so I looked in PowerSchool and I checked when everybody's birthday is, and I just kind of tallied those up. So like, for example, in period 1, there's only one person that has a January birthday, and there's one person that has a February birthday, and there are 4 people that have a March birthday, and on we go, right? So I did the same thing for period 1 and period 4 and period 7. So you are represented in there someplace. If you're in the class, your birthday month is tallied up in there somewhere. Okay, now our first job is that you have to format the data a little bit. All right, well, I'm just going to select everything here from A5 over to, what is that, M8. I'm just going to select all of that data. And again, I've said this so many times, I'm not going to be real picky about exactly how you format it. Format it however you feel like you want to. I'm not going to be choosy about that. So I'm doing some of the things that I like, and you do the things that you like. Bingo. All right, I don't think I'm even going to use a fill color this time. I changed the font, I made it a little bigger, I centered some data there, and I put some borders on it, right? So you do whatever you like. Now, once again, to build the chart, you have to select the data that you want. That's really important. And I still walk around the room and I see people that will they'll just have their cell pointer sitting on an empty spot, and they'll go to build their chart, and then their chart is empty, and they can't figure out why their chart is empty. Well, you have to select the data. So we want all of this, like January, February, March, April, May. We want all of that, and we want all the numbers. So my selection started at A5, and it went all the way over to M8, and I've got all of that selected. Now we're going to go to Insert, and we're going to go to Chart. Here's the moment of truth. I have said before in other lessons, Google Sheets always tries to get it right. Let's see how it does. It's got to be a bar or column chart today, and take a look. Google Sheets did not get it right. Over here on the setup, that is a line chart, and that is not what we want. So I'm going to have to drop that down, and I'm going to scroll a little bit. Now here, here is where you make your selection. This is a regular column chart here. You could use that. You could use this stacked column chart. Sometimes people don't understand that quite as well as a regular column chart, but you could use it if you want to. And this is a 100% stacked column chart. And you could use that if you want to. But again, some people look at that and say, I don't get how that chart is working. So, and the only difference between a column and a bar chart is that the columns, if you do a column chart, they go from the bottom of the chart up. And if you do a bar chart, they go from the left side and then they go to the right. So these are bar charts down here. You got a regular bar chart, a stacked bar chart, and a 100% stacked bar chart. You can use any of those that you would like right there, column or bar. I'm just going to go with a regular column chart right here. Boom. All right. Now we're going over to customize. We're going to take care of the two required customizations first. One of them was change the title. You see the title right now says period 1, period 4, period 7. I mean, that doesn't really tell you what. I mean, what about period 1, 4 to 7? Well, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to titles, and we're going to change that. We're going to change that title. Get that out of there, and I'm just going to call it class birthdays. That's what I'm going to do, but just make sure you have the idea of birthdays in there. That's what you have to do with the title, is make sure you have the idea of birthdays. And I hope that you've learned that when you're changing a title on a Google Sheet, right below where you actually write the title, you have all of these other things that you could do, like you could center it and you could make it a different size if you wanted to. I didn't get it centered, did I? There we go. That's better. And you could change the color of it. I'm going to make it black, and you could make it, change font, do whatever you want. There's some options here, and you can do whatever you like. All right, now I'm going to take care of the other required change before I play around with anything else. So I'll go ahead and close the title part right here. I'll just close that. And this is going to be changing the color of the bars is going to be found on series right here. Actually, it's columns in my case, and here's what I'm looking at. Right now, they're blue and red and yellow. You can see them. Well, the requirement of the assignment is you have to change them. I don't want blue and red and yellow. Make them something different. So I'm going to open up the series part right here. And right here where it says apply to all series, I'm going to click there, and here's where I can select, okay, blue, red, yellow, period 1, period 4, period 7. So I'll just go to period 1. And what I really want to change is the fill color, but there's also a line color here. So I might just put a black line on it, and then let's see, what shall we do for this fill color? I'm going to make that green. So you can see it happen, right? Period 1 is now green. I'll click here where it says period 1, and I'll go to period 4, and I'm going to put, I like the black line around it, so I'm going to stick with a black line. And for the fill color, I'm going to go with a kind of a light gray. And so now you can see that I have a light gray happening for period 4. And then I'm going to click here where it says period 4, and I'm going to switch over to period 7, add my black line color, and come along here with like a purple fill color, I think. All right, kind of looks like the Joker in Batman, green and purple, right? Now, so this really kind of does it, right? This is done. I've got my title on there. That was required. And I've changed the color of the columns. That was required. Now, you could certainly, if you want to, you could come along here and say, you know what? I'm going to change the background. I'm going to make it pop a little bit. Maybe I want to throw a border color on there. Maybe a different border color. All right. You can't really see the border color. You just barely see it. It's really thin. Might make it 3D just for kicks. I mean, you could customize other things. You don't have to just stop with what I required, but, make sure you get what I required. I'm going to go ahead and close the chart editor here. And, I think that and I'm going to zoom back on this. I'll zoom out a little bit. These charts are floating objects, so if you click on it, you should be able to drag it around and kind of park it wherever you feel like you want to park it. And I think I'll just put it right there. And you know what? Assignment complete. I'm all done. I have formatted the data up here a little bit, and I built the chart according to the requirements of the assignment. I am finished, and now it's your turn. Good luck.